Well, here we are back at Stanley Cemetery, underneath the ever-present nut. Up in the top southeastern corner, and we've done the northwestern in our last video, which I'll link at the end, and so we'll work our way through them all. Clearly the more recent end up here, this was Thomas John Spinks in 1945, Davidson in 52, behind Lucy we have Edward Davidson in 1938, so we might walk around and see if we can find the older ones. Okay, as we've seen from other cemeteries, the crest shape was introduced in the 20s and popular through the 30s as well. This is Charles L.C. Smith, accidentally killed in 1936, the 28-year-old. Lots of accidents. Next door we have Charlotte Amelia Tatlow, age 54 in 1934. We're starting to reach back a little bit further. We'll notice this white material smeared about. Looks very much like penguin scats. And as we are just above a penguin colony, that's not surprising. As we can see here, the cast iron is still around in the older graves. This is an interesting one. Sad. Frederick Wells, who died suddenly at Woolnorth, which was one of the original Van Diemen's Land Company holdings. 30th of November 1909. Died suddenly at Woolnorth then, and was erected by his affectionate brothers. Nice. More cast iron, but no headstone, so it's difficult to know. Now this is some heavy duty cast iron. Put my hand in to give you some idea of the scale. It's got some depth to it. Quite an impressive piece of marble. Loving memory of Frederick William Smith, 1910, as a 56-year-old, and Jane Edith Cartledge, daughter of the above, and beloved wife of Edgar Cartledge, died at Smithton, which isn't that far from here, aged 35 in 1915. And we continue the impressive cast iron on this next grave. Sizable piece, this one. This is for Maud Ethel Leggett, only daughter of Captain Richard and Margaret Leggett, who died in 1911 as a 35-year-old. And also Margaret, mother of the above, who was born in Enniskillen in Ireland on the 2nd of October 1843, died in 1916. And then down the bottom we have Captain Richard Leggett, Master Mariner, born Whittleham Park, maybe? It's hard to tell, but the markings there, in Sussex in England in 1841, died in 1834, a pioneer of Melbourne's shipping. As we continue back in time, we get more of these. Ernest Carr Borrowdale died as a 27-year-old in 1908. No cause of death given. Another large lump of marble, loving memory of Emily, dearly beloved wife of William Walters, a 32-year-old in 1907. This is the first one I've ever come across in wood. I just cannot make out the lettering, but you can tell from the image at the top there that it's probably a nautical person. This is a rough one. Ivan Medwin, 1st of September 1892, 1 year and 3 months. And then Leonard, 28th of February 1903, aged 10 months. I don't know how people carried on. As you can probably see from the previous video on penguins in Burnie, I managed to get one in the infrared. They like to live in crevices under rocks and they leave droppings out the front. So this is what we've found next to those two kids. Some scat, and then an entrance in under a slab. So I suspect there's penguins under there. They hibernate during the day. Really impressive piece of marble with some impressive cast iron as well. This is in memory of Mary Bromley, wife of Wilfred Brown of Poverty Bay, New Zealand. I assume, not sure who that is. Age 28. And if you look up a little bit higher, it's in the little wreath there, it says 1893. Okay, so this one's come down off the plinth there, and it's in loving memory of Maria Edwards, daughter of the late John Edwards. She died in 1900 as a 54-year-old. Gone but not forgotten. What wonderful words. And some relative, I would imagine, Kathleen M. Edwards, January 1894. Very simple but very well proportioned piece of marble. More variations on your cast iron, and again well rusted. This is Sarah Elizabeth Wayne, 27th of April 1855 to 23rd of February 1890, so just short of 45. Another variation on the cast iron. This is cast iron and concrete, but unfortunately the really impressive slab of marble is unreadable. Let's have a look at the ones behind. They too have some cast iron. But before we get there, on the way past, I found the mortal remains of Andrew Murray, surgeon. Died 1854, age 35. I've got a few more Edwards here. This is for Emily Johnson, which I know isn't an Edwards, but we'll get there. Emily Johnson, who died in Melbourne 1920 as a 44-year-old. But next on the same plot is John Edwards, who died at Stanley in 1907. Another gone but not forgotten. Oh, nice sentiment. And also his wife, Emily Maria Edwards, who died at Stanley also in 1935. She outlived him by a way. Clearly some adornment missing from the top of this one. It does appear to be in sandstone, and thankfully it's legible. So this is Anthony Tatlow, who died at Circular Head 1885 as a 52-year-old, and his granddaughter Dora, who died in 1894 as a 6-year-old. And then underneath it redoes it in bronze, so if the sandstone ever wears away. He's had a tough time of it. Harold Anthony Tatlow, who died at 4 years and 3 months in 1888. Next to Harold, we've got Henrietta, the loved wife of Charles. She died in 1899 as a 41-year-old. It was tough for people. And yet, as always, it was a lottery. Got Elizabeth Harmon here, who lived to 92. So there's no rhyme nor reason to it. Bit more heavy duty cast iron here. Very impressive piece of marble this, for Matthias Medwin, native of Buckinghamshire, England, who died at South Burnie in 1898. A faithful father, true and kind, he proved to be in heart and mind. A loving father too as well, when he on earth with us did dwell. There you go. More cast iron here, and more sadness. Thomas, 1876, aged 1 hour. Struth. Andrew Earl, 1885, aged 4 months and 10 days. Philip Earl, 1888, 6 months and 11 days. I just don't comprehend how people could deal with so much grief. 10 more cast iron, so we know we're in the older part. This is a truly impressive piece of marble. You get to the top there before we come back down. Susan Eliza, beloved wife of Walter Higgs, January the 4th, 1893, as a 33-year-old. Got to think a lot of these women died in childbirth or complications from. So that's Stanley Cemetery, one of the earliest ones here in the northwest. Over the ocean there, and between the edge of the cliff there at the edge of the cemetery and the water is a penguin colony. And as we've seen, it wanders up here. It's a cemetery worth a visit.